we're going to get into some stuff here. One thing you need to know is you need to go to bowtecharchery.com, because right now, if you text HUNT, H-U-N-T, to 77453, so text the word HUNT in capital letters to 77453, and you're going to get in their drawing. They're doing a fully guided elk hunt with Nate Zielinski in Colorado in September. They're running the contest through the 10th of August. You got to be 18 years old, only U.S. and Canadian residents. I think that's it. The dates are September 14th through the 20th, and it includes everything: airfare, lodging, food, license, you name it. So go to bowtecharchery.com and sign up, or text HUNT to 77453. So that tells you that Bowtech is one of the groups that make this possible, along with Leupold, along with Tight Spot, along with Ripcord, Black Gold, Onyx Maps. Use promo code Randy, get 20% off. GoHunt.com. With them, you use promo code Randy, and you're going to get $50 of free credit in their gear shop. Rocky Mountain Hunting Calls. Oh, new promo code. Rocky Mountain Hunting Calls. Where is it? Right here. Huh? The best elk hunting calls in the world. Right here. They're going to give you 15% off if you go and buy anything from Rocky Mountain Hunting Calls directly. Their website is buglingbull.com. Use promo code Randy and save yourself 15%.
Here, I can take that iPad.
Well, how am I going to read any questions?
I was going to put them on our Google Doc.
Oh.
Well, if you want to look through there, that's fine.
Are we getting anything on Facebook, or are we just...
Yeah, we're getting some on Facebook.
So this is actually coming through on Facebook. Why am I not seeing it? All right, someone said they just bought their Tight Spot quiver tonight. Hey, that's cool, man. I can assure you it's the best quiver out there. Uh-oh, someone drew a Unit Colorado first rifle. Do you think the canyons would be a place to look in mid-October? Yes, because you're going to be hunting the post-rut at that time, post-rut sanctuary. And there's going to be a lot of traffic there. I would get after it. There might be a little bugling, but you're going to be where that peak rut is transitioning closer to the post-rut. Oh yeah, someone says, is this a subalpine bugle tube? Well, yeah, it is. I mean, you think Sitka's going to send me out there with anything other than that? I should have brought one of my calls with. Dang it, out in my car.
Shoot.
What? What happened? My phone crap out on us?
Yeah. And this Instagram video is like way blown out.
Yeah, that's because the sun's shining on my face, but you got it?
Yeah.
All right. Have I hunted Unit 33 in Colorado? No, I've not. Just got a Rocky Mountain Hunting call with the vet system. How did you decide on a reed? Okay, you see, this does not have the vet system. The vet is volume enhanced tone technology, I think is what that stands for. I just use a regular diaphragm, and I experiment with their diaphragms to see which one fits my mouth the best, and go with whatever one fits your mouth the best. Someone says the best calls. Yes, I agree. Man, I'm like two-handing it here. I got an iPod in this hand. I'm reading. Michael, are you copying down the questions?
We're actually getting quite a bit on live stream, so
Are we?
I'll put
cool.
in the Google Doc.
Well, that's good. Let's see. More Roosevelt information from the Blacktail Republic. You can come to the jungle and hunt with us. I'd like to do that someday. In fact, the guys at Born and Raised are telling me that someday, hey, Michael, these scroll through here. I can't stop them.
I know.
What's the deal? I got to be like a speed reader, man. Are you hunting Wyoming this year, Randy? I don't know. I'm not for elk. My son and my uncle are. Randy, let's hear about your Utah bison tag. I drew an archery Utah bison tag in the Henry Mountains. And I just got from Bone Broadheads. I just got my Broadheads in the mail today. Getting the bow all set up. We're going to do a bunch of videos out that. Let's see. Someone says, where were you in Alaska? We can't tell you. Actually, you'll know. You'll see that we fly into Petersburg. We get Pacific Wing. So here's what you need to know to go and hunt black bears in Southeast Alaska, at least if you're going to do it around Petersburg. Fly to Petersburg, stay at the Scandia house, have Pack Wing fly you out there to wherever you're going to hunt, or if you're going to go by boat, go to Jensen's Boat Rentals. You're set. there's bears everywhere. So someone has seen that we've put out the day-by-day videos this week, I'm sure. What's up tomorrow, Michael? Day 4 or part 4?
Day 4.
Yeah, because today Mike shot his bear in that segment. Tomorrow I shoot my bear. Oops, spoiler alert. Let's see. Quick tip for a rookie over-the-counter archery in Colorado. Hunt hard. Don't be afraid to experiment and play the wind. Have I ever hunted California? Only for ducks. What's my preferred season for Colorado elk and why? I like the 3rd rifle season because most of the traffic's gone. The elk are consolidated and concentrated into places, sanctuary places where I know to go look for them. And I like hunting in those situations. Oh, interested. Let's see. Do number of hunters affect your over-the-counter unit? I don't know. I just go. In Colorado, all the over-the-counter units have a lot of pressure. In Montana, in Idaho, all the general units have a lot of pressure. So I'm accustomed to pressure. I just go. I don't worry about it. One of the things you're going to hear in this e-scouting series that we're doing for on X, we're going to talk about how I use hunting pressure as part of my plan and part of my strategy. So, wow, these are going too fast. How do I feel about the $3 draw for Colorado? You know what? I'm a non-resident in Colorado. Whatever they want, I'm at their mercy. So I just do whatever it is that... All right, Michael, I see you got all the questions up there. How do I get to those on live stream? Is there some way of...
Google search Randy Newberg.
Open chat. Oh, look at that. All I had to do was hit open chat, and there they are.
There you go.
The only downside is they're not scrolling. It wants me to chat and talk about something.
You have Google Doc up?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't posted them in there.
Have you? All right. When am I coming to Arizona to do over-the-counter bear? I'm probably not, just because my calendar's always so full of other things. But you guys have some big bears in Arizona. I know people don't think of bears in Arizona, but there's some big ones. What elevation do elk live at in the summer? It depends. I mean, in Montana, you can find them from 5,000 up to 10,000. In Colorado, you can find them from 6,000 to 12,000. It depends on where they're at. I mean, you're probably going to find them in the higher part of their range as a general rule because there's going to be greener, lusher feed there, and there's going to be less human disturbance. And if it's in a period when there's a lot of flies, if you ever see them flicking their ears and moving, the higher up, the better the winds, the cooler the temps, usually the less insects for them. So, with all the traveling you do, how often do you check your rifle zeros? Quite a bit. I've had situations where we've traveled and it's like, holy cow. So yeah, it depends on if I've traveled via airline or just traveled in my truck. I'm a lot more comfortable when I'm traveling in my truck. But when you put it in a firearms case at the airport, you have no idea what happened to it until you pick it up. So be careful. Let's see, do you have a video that demonstrates loading the elk onto your packs? Yeah, we have, in fact, go to mysteryranch.com. They have a bunch of videos. In our video, the gutless method, we don't really get into loading it into the packs. Trying to think. Actually, go to mysteryranch.com. They've got the best videos of how to load a crew cab using the load shelf and get all your meat in there. Let's see. I finally drew a bull tag for the second rifle season in Colorado. What calls would you recommend, if any? The downside, in late October, there's not going to be much calling going on. Probably your best bet is some sort of cow call. So if you do move elk out and they're on the move, usually if you give a blast on a cow call, they'll stop and look at least a little bit. So get a diaphragm if you're comfortable with that, or an open reed, and know that that's really not a time when you're going to have much luck just calling for elk. It's more of a, hey, stop, I want to shoot you. And sometimes they do. Oh, someone asked, how long after this summer's fires would you go back and hunt a burn area? We just talked about that today, didn't we, Michael? Michael and I filmed the video of this e-scouting series that's nothing but burns. And the answer to that is I'll go back in there. I try to give it a year before I go back in there. Yeah, I've seen elk in there the year of a fire. You maybe have a fire in June. they're back in there in September or October. Usually I try to give it at least 1 year before I hunt it. But you're going to want to watch that burn video. We go into a lot of detail. A lot of the questions we get here on Elk Talk Live happen to be video or questions about burns. And I think we've addressed just about all of those when we've done this video that we've talked about here. Well, let's see. When scouting, how do you determine which roads will allow access during the season you are hunting? We're going to cover this also. But I tell people, you have to know where to go to that agency, whether it's the Forest Service, the BLM, the state land, and find what their travel management plan is. And the Forest Service, unfortunately, doesn't have these in some interactive map system. They have them in old PDF files. And when you download them, it's a PDF file that's about as big as this wall back here. And you got to look at the road, then arrow over and scroll over to where the legend is that says, oh yeah, roads with a little C circle on it, those are open from this period to that period. So if ever the agencies start putting this stuff in an electronic format that can be implemented into something like OnX, it'll probably be available in OnX. But right now, the agencies don't have that information, so you got to contact that forest or that BLM district or whatever and get that information from them. Let's see. On your elk hunt with Jerry Pritchard, you camped out on a sanctuary area for 5 days. Do you realize that or utilize that tactic often? If I've scouted, if you saw that video, when we scouted, we saw elk in there. I mean, we saw some nice elk. And we've hunted that same exact area in previous years and we've shot elk in there. If it was a new place that I didn't have that much confidence in, no, I probably would not have sat there for 5 days. But since I knew there were elk in there, and if you saw in the video, every day we saw some elk, it's just, who's going to take a 400-yard shot with a 35-mile-an-hour crosswind at an elk looking right at you? That didn't work out very well. Then the other days, some hunters came in above, didn't know the elk were down below. So we saw elk every day. It just, you know how it is. Sometimes when you're hunting, it just doesn't work out. That was one of those hunts. So, National Forest Service has an interactive map for the whole U.S. Well, that would be news to me. Thank you. If someone sees that interactive travel management plan map for the Forest Service, I hope someone will email me a link, because I've never seen an interactive map that has temporary, seasonal, or permanent road closures that's in an interactive format. If it's there, that would be really cool. That would solve a lot of problems, but I haven't seen it. Will drought and hot weather push the rut later into the year? Nope. It's a photo period thing. Think about it. If the elk ended up rutting in October instead of September, the calves would be born in late June instead of late May. And those calves are not going to make it the next year. So I hear a lot of people say, oh, it's too hot, it's pushed the rut back a ways, or the full moon's pushed the rut back a ways. No, it hasn't. What's happened is it's hot, so they're doing all their activity at night, and you're just not hearing them much during the day because it's hot. They're just bedded down. They're trying to conserve energy. And staying cool in really hot weather takes as much energy as staying warm in really cold weather. So that's why a lot of people think that it changes the rut. It's just the fact that it's going on while we're sleeping in camp. So what time or temp change do the thermals usually change? It depends. I would say normally about 2 or 3 hours after the sun comes up is when they come from a heavy downhill thermal to more of a start reversing to an uphill. But it's not like they're coming downhill and then all of a sudden they go uphill. There's an hour and a half period there where they're kind of mixing and moving. And then once you get good sun heating the ground, I guess, the rock, the ground, then you will get a consistent uphill thermal. Until probably 11 o'clock or noon, you're having more of a mix of the thermals. We did a video about thermals out on our YouTube channel. go watch that. It's pretty shows with a graphic. We used a rock right there as our graphics, and I think it did a pretty good job. What grain broadhead do I use for elk? 125 grain. I use it for everything. Will elk go out of their way to eat in a burn, or does it still have to be in an ideal location for elk to utilize it? If it's a burn that has really, really good food, they will go out of their way to utilize it. They will travel a long distance. Elk are very selective feeders. And remember, elk are grazers, they're not browsers. So they're looking for grasses and forbs. And what do you find in a burn? Grasses and forbs mostly. So how many times have you been out elk hunting and the whole face of the mountain looks the same? But every year you see this one little pocket over there, that's where the elk are. Well, this little pocket looks identical. This one looks identical. Not to the elk. They will go to some certain spot and that's where they'll feed. It doesn't all look the same. It's not all the same to them, even though it looks the same to us. Pay attention to what it is that's in that little spot that for whatever reason, they are there all the time. Oh, what's my favorite Dwight Yoakam song? That would be a hard one. Let me think. Yeah, I love hillbilly music. So probably Bury Me Along the Big Sandy would be one of them. Floyd County. There's too many of them to answer. Do I bugle after the rut? Not much. I mean, when I say after the rut, I'm saying, like October 15th and later. No, I don't bugle much at all. What's the promo code for Rocky Mountain Hunting calls again? Randy. Trust me, we don't do a promo code unless it's Randy, R-A-N-D-Y. Go to buglingbull.com and use the promo code there. Let's see. Even though Washington State isn't great for draw odds, do I ever apply there for bull tags? No, I don't. And it's just a function of Washington. When you look at all the options non-residents have in terms of cost, in terms of the hunting experience, the flexibility of season dates, hunting pressure, quality of the hunt, things like that, Washington just ends up scoring really low on that scale. So I end up not putting in there. All right. Nick says, here we go. It says app.forest.usda.gov/travel access. Someone posted the link for the interactive forest travel plans. That's cool. I'm going to have to look that up. Any tips for a late season cow elk hunt? Yeah, find the best food. Any elk hunt, late, early, whatever, find the best food. That's when you're going to find elk. Let's see. What kind of weather can you expect during the second and third rifle season in Colorado? A little bit of everything. I've hunted in the second season. Well, no, I've never hunted the second season. I've had friends who've hunted the second season and had snow. 2016, if you go out to our YouTube channel, you'll see there's a video called Don't Kill an Elk Here. It was an elk hunt in November, and it was 70-some degrees. And the forecast for the whole third season was in the 70s. Everybody who burned points that year was very frustrated. There was some really, really good deer hunting to be had, or everyone thought. And then here comes this warm front, and it stays there for 5 or 6 days. Really put the hurt on those third season deer hunts. Have you thought of doing an episode with Steve Vernella? Steve's a great guy. Him and Giannis. Giannis's sidekick lives right here in Bozeman. We visit regularly. Steve and I had planned to do an Alaska blacktail hunt a few years back, and he ended up getting Lyme's disease, and we had to cancel. I mean, we had the tickets, but we had everything. But since then, he's so busy. He's busier than I am, and I'm crazy busy. It's never worked out. So he's a great guy. Watch all of his stuff. I mean, go out to his YouTube channel, listen to the Meat Eater podcast, all that. Those guys are really, really good guys. Randy, am I praying for rain in Arizona? Yeah, Arizona, New Mexico, any place that needs rain, I hope you get it. Let's see. What distance do I practice for archery? Out at my house, I have 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and 70. I have all that. My pins are only 20, 30, 40, 50. And I'm thinking of getting rid of my 50-yard pin. And part of that is the last few years, I've just reached this point where I want to get even closer. So I think if I got rid of my 50-yard pin, and even though I have this really cool black gold Ascent sight, if you've seen the Ascent sights from Black Gold, they got a slider on them where you can, even if your bottom pin's 50, you can dial that thing up to a very high point, and it'll just increase your range further and further. But I archery hunt to get closer, so I'm thinking I might take my 50-yard pin off and just go with 20, 30, 40. And know that, all right, there's going to be times when something is sitting there at 48 yards, and I'm probably going to scare it off trying to get a little closer. So, let's see. Do you use the same sleep system, bag, pad, and bivvy all year? I do, other than I change bags. Early season, I use a 25-degree bag. Late season, I use a 0-degree bag. We did a video on that I think we put that up last fall or last winter about my sleep system in a backcountry hunt. It's out on our YouTube channel. What range do I zero my rifle? I use Leupold's CDS system. It's called Custom Dial System. Go check it out. It is for hunting rifles, for hunting ranges. There is nothing I've found that is as simple and as effective as the CDS system from Leupold. So I zero it at 100, and I have my dials etched for 100-yard zero. And all I have to do then is range it. Okay, get out my TBR, click it. All right, that is, oh yeah, that's 288 yards. All right, spin my dial to 290, hold that on, works like magic. So, did I draw a late rifle bull tag in Arizona this year? I did not, but my friend Lorenzo did. So we're going to be down there with Lorenzo filming his hunt. Do I use a 5-arrow or 7-arrow quiver? I have a tight spot 5-arrow quiver. And one of those is my grouse arrow. So maybe I should go to a 7-arrow quiver. Now I could have 2 grouse arrows. So where am I hunting elk this fall? Let's see. Got New Mexico archery, and then I've got my Montana general tag. And I think those are the only 2 elk tags I have this year. Am I missing one, Michael?
Sorry,
I don't think so. Oh, Michael, sorry. He's over there working. And let's see. Like I said, my buddy Lorenzo has Arizona. We'll be there. My son and my Uncle Larry have Wyoming. We'll be there. Got a bunch of guests coming here to Montana that we're going to elk hunt with. So, yeah, I only have 2 elk tags this year. That's unusual. Usually I end up with 3 or more. Someone was watching the video the other day from Alaska. I picked up this old dead crab on the beach, and I knew better, but I thought, I wonder what that thing smells like. And I went like this and squeezed it, and all kinds of goo and junk came out, and the person says, have you got your sense of smell back yet? No, I don't. It's, no, don't pick up a dead crab that's been on the beach. Oh, it's bad, really bad. Let's see. Preferred. Do migration routes change during years of drought? Not to my knowledge. Maybe they do, but I think migration routes are pretty much set in stone. They are what they are. They do it all the time. They do the same thing, and that's how it goes. I've never seen them change on account of drought or something else. All right. Oh, look at that. Even getting Facebook questions. Let's see. What arrow tip combo do I use on grouse? What I use on grouse is I have these judo points, and I use those. All right. The live video has ended on Facebook. What the heck? All right.
Oh, yeah, the Facebook one's been gone for a while.
All right. Guess we're going with live stream, and we're going with Instagram, folks. Michael is feeding me the questions on a live stream, and then I'm trying to read them here on Instagram.
I'm reading something on Instagram.
Okay. Let's see. Doing any Canadian hunts anytime soon? No, I won't be. And the reason is that when we go to Canada as non-resident aliens, we have to use an outfitter. And if you watch our stuff, you know that all the things that we do is self-guided. Nothing against guided hunts. I've been on guided hunts actually this fall. I will be on an Alaska Doll sheep hunt. The only way I can do it is guided, so I'll just tell the audience up front, look, this is the deal. I had to go with a guide. It's a dream hunt. I'm 53. My knees are hurting. I better do it now. So, but the Canada stuff, we'll probably never get there as much as I want to. I'm trying to get there for mountain caribou, but don't know. Did I make the deadline for Arizona sheep, bison, coos? Yep, I did. I'm sure I'm not going to draw, but that's all right. Well, I got 20 sheep points. I'd love it if they took my sheep points. What state did your biggest bull come from? Montana. Let's see. Oh, look at them all scrolling here now. Someone says, Randy, every arrow's a grouse arrow, right? You're right, Jeff. Randy, how do those bears taste after eating bad crabs? You guys saw us processing that bear in Alaska. Oh no, they haven't seen that video yet, have they, Michael? Oh, that us cutting up the meat is coming up soon. Have you tried any, Michael? We brought some back.
I haven't. I think Marcus and I are going to tomorrow.
Okay, Marcus and Michael are going to try it tomorrow. I got home and I've been on the road since I got home, so I haven't had a chance to try any. But I've eaten bear meat from Alaska before, and the ones that are on the tide flats eating crabs and other stuff, they seem to taste fine. So if it's different than that, though, we'll let you know. Am I ever going to hunt South Dakota? I don't know. South Dakota's draw is so late in the year. We've already got our tags, our calendars, our everything set, our film permits, everything is in place by the time South Dakota comes up with their draw. So it's a hard place for us to do it with the draw being so late in South Dakota. Do I prefer cow calling over bugling in the early season? You know, I used to until I started hunting with my buddy Corey Jacobson. Now, I just bugle. I've watched Corey enough. I'm like, you know what? He's got it dialed in. I'm going to do what Corey does. And so I cow call a little bit, but not very much. Randy, how did your Sitka gear perform in the southeast Alaska rain? Okay, you saw those videos. It was torrential. It was raining like crazy. Get yourself a Stormfront jacket and you will never have to worry about it. I've worn that Stormfront gear now in Alaska, I don't know how many times. And it's an investment, but man, is it a high quality product. So it performed flawlessly. Are you going to be doing any hunt giveaways in the future? I'm not sure. We're talking about it all the time. But the thing you run into is technically, and I know a lot of people ignore these rules. You'll have people selling raffle tickets for hunts across state lines. You'll have websites that are selling raffle tickets. Well, technically, you have to comply with the state gaming laws, gambling laws in every state. And that's just a pain in the bottom side. I mean, we did some, and then I hired an attorney, and the attorney's like, you know, actually, you were in slight violation of this state law and that state law. I'm like, great. So if we have sponsors that can take care of all that headache, we might be doing some. But for me, I'm just too small of a guy. I don't know all those state laws, and I don't want to be someone who violates any of them. So, favorite wind checker. This guy says his is smoke in a bottle. Whatever is right there at the counter when I'm at the sporting goods store. That's the one I use. Let's see. How close do you camp to where you're going to be actively elk hunting in the late season? Probably not within a mile, because in the late season I'm hunting sanctuary areas, and I don't want to do anything that causes that group of elk. Hopefully there's a bachelor group in that sanctuary area. I don't want to be stinking it up and giving them cause to head out or go somewhere else. So I'm at least a mile away in the late season. Randy, my unit 74 in Colorado is on fire. Yeah, the San Juans are. Would that burn be good to hunt in first rifle? It depends. If that fire goes out soon and you get a bunch of summer rain, it will be greening up in that burn, but I would not count on that as my strategy, because the odds are you're probably going to have this fire eventually burn out, but it's going to be a dry, hot summer, and you're really not going to have any growth in that burn until the following year. I wouldn't make that my plan. Oh, let's see. Boy, there's a bunch of them here. You got any more on the Google Doc, Michael?
Oh, yeah.
Taking Ty Stubblefield on any more hunts? No. Why would I take Ty on a hunt? If you're listening, Ty, you know that's a joke. Probably not, just because our calendars. He's a busy guy with his work, and it's just hard to keep everything up in the air and matching up calendars and schedules. Let's see. Does bugling cause bulls to run away? I hear this always. I hunt in Washington. I don't know. I mean, maybe it does in some places. I've seen a lot of people come into really pressured areas, and the local barstool rumor is, oh, you can't call those elk in with a bugle. I've seen, like Corey, he came to Montana. We went into a spot, and there's a lot of hunting pressure. And if you were asked, 8 out of 10 people to say, oh, bugling doesn't work here. Corey called in elk by bugling every day. We could have shot a bull. So I've heard those same things. I'm not going to say it doesn't happen, because do you ever see the bull that runs away that you don't get to see? No. So I can't say that it doesn't happen, but I've seen a lot of times where that's been the claim and it's not happened as claimed. Let's see. Thinking about getting a new truck. Do you recommend the Nissan Titan? Yeah, I've bought 5 of them out of my own pocket. And the one I have right now, they sent me a couple months ago. You've seen it on our videos. And they said, go and beat this one up the same as you have your other 5 and tell us what you think. So tomorrow, that Nissan Titan is going to be towing my Lund boat to my walleye fishing hole. So I guess the fact that I've bought 5 of them out of my pocket is a testimony to or I guess an answer to the question of, yeah, I think they're a good truck. What is this? I just got a dang Instagram account just to watch it. Sorry. Coy said the same thing. Okay, so if you're on Instagram, Michael, we have 2 Instagram accounts. Which one are we doing this on?
This one's on your Randy.
Okay, so we have the Randy Newberg Hunter account that this is streaming on. What's our number of registered people on the Fresh Tracks TV one?
I think we only have like 700
Okay.
like followers right now.
Yeah.
I think we only got like 750.
Okay.
But
So Michael and Marcus and Dan run another Instagram account called Fresh Tracks TV. And it's kind of the behind the scenes stuff. So all of you who signed up for the Randy Newberg Hunter Instagram account, go sign up to the Fresh Tracks TV Instagram account. And these guys, they're way more regular in posting out here than I am. Holy cow, look how many people said that they just signed up on Instagram for this. Man. Huh. Randy, do you recommend a topper, and how do you like it? I've had 4 ARE toppers, and that's what I'm putting on this new truck. They've worked great for me. Let's see. Ever had a private-public conflict with a property owner, and how did you handle it? Yeah, I have, and they got resolved without any pain. The landowner did not know that the place I was standing was on public, and he thought it was private. He went back to his house, came back, and said, you know what, I looked at the maps, you're right. You're on public, knock yourself out. You know, everyone can make a mistake. So I just kept hunting, and he'd drive by each day and wave at us. And I know sometimes that's not the outcome, but I've had nothing but positive outcomes with just about every private landowner I've run into. Oh, let's see. How did that game bag hold up with that big old Alaska melon head in it? Those caribou game bags, they'll hold up to anything. So a lot of you ask, what game bags do I use? Caribou game bags, all right? Ted down in Colorado, he's got the best game bags out there. And we've done a whole video on game bag selection. I know a lot of you are like, man, you've done all these videos. Where do I find them? Go to our YouTube channel. In the search bar in our channel, type in game bags, type in this, type in that. You're going to have a lot of answers to many of the questions that we see here. What's my favorite hunting GPS? Where's my phone? Oh, my favorite hunting GPS is right up here. Oh, yeah, since Facebook pooped out, right here's my favorite hunting GPS. Go out to Onyx Maps, get yourself a really good app product, which is Onyx Maps, and you're going to be just fine. I'm trying to pull mine up here while I'm doing this. Man, I'm almost as handy as my wife right now. I'm triple tasking here. All right, where's the app? Come on. This is my favorite GPS. There it is right there. It's got the red X on it. It's called OnX Hunt. Right there. That's my favorite GPS. Should you still hunt a burn if it's right at the end of the road and only a small section of the unit? If it's right at the end of the road where the parking lot is, I'm probably not going to because it's going to get way too much pressure. But if it's just a small part of the unit, yeah, I do. And the video we shot today, Michael, did I talk about my preference of large burns over small burns?
Oh, yeah.
And Michael will reply that, yes, Randy likes small burns versus big burns, right? Isn't that kind of what I told him? All right. So, do I use a Garmin InReach? Yeah, we got one right back here on the counter. And this is embarrassing. We were in Alaska earlier this month. I got the whole new contract. Thought, oh man, we're going to want to update the InReach with a higher level thing. This stayed on the desk here. We forgot it. We didn't pack it.
I'm wondering why that was here.
Yeah, but you always blame the camera guy for stuff like that. So that was Marcus's fault. You blame the camera guy for everything. So, in Arizona, Eric's asking, in Arizona, how close are the sanctuary areas to water? Within 1 to 3 miles? Yeah, that's probably a really good distance that if I had to ballpark it. They're usually 1 to 3 miles. And those elk will travel a long ways to water, but they don't have to water every day in the late season. They can water every other day. And a lot of times they're doing it at night. So if this is the water source and this is where they're bedding, I want to be set up in a sanctuary area closer to where they're bedding because they're going to get up and before it's dark, they'll be up milling, moving around and starting to their water. By the time they get to the water, it's usually dark. Not always, but usually. I know some people who've had good luck hunting water there, but I just don't do it. So Ken asks, what do I consider a small burn? 20 acres as a small burn. If it's a couple 100 acres, I'd say if you let me draw out a burn area on my map, I'd want something that's 200 to 400 acres, maybe even 100 acres. But those are the sizes I'm talking about when I say big versus small. Let's see. What phase do you think the elk are at on the 1st of October? Any suggestions? Yeah, they're going to be coming off the peak rut, but they're still going to probably be rutting hard unless you're in a place that has a rifle season that opens October 1st. Then you're going to get about 2 days of vocal activity, and then things are going to shut down a lot. But in Montana here, our archery elk season runs until usually the second to third Sunday in October, and elk are bugling all the way through that. So take that for what it's worth. Oh, let's see. Randy, do you recommend a straight spotting scope or angled? I've always used straight, but this year Leopold's sending me a prototype, and I asked for an angled. So we'll see. I'll get a chance. I've never really chose one over the other for any specific reason. So, what is the new broadhead you are trying out this year? It's called Bone Broadheads. It's a 2-blade, single bevel. I've been shooting them. They're like so quiet, just boom, boom. You don't hear. Sometimes with a blade that has any type of gap in it, you'll hear you can hear the blade. They're kind of loud. not these ones. So, called bone broadheads. Jarrett is the guy who sent them to me. Let's see. Are you copying and pasting over there to the Google Doc, Michael? Yeah. You are? Why am I not getting any?
You looking at the bottom?
Yeah, I thought it was. Oh, I see. There's another page.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, the date's wrong on there. So.
Yeah. Do you think that the elk will be in the summer range during the third season in Colorado, or should I be more towards the winter range? In the third season in November, they're not going to be near the summer range. The cows will have already left the summer range, and they're very close to the winter range. And if you get snow, like a lot of times you do in the third season in Colorado, you're going to end up with elk very, very close to the winter range. The bulls now usually come down later than the cows and young bulls. So they're going to be up higher, but they're going to be on those migration corridors closer to the winter range than they are the summer range in that third season in Colorado. Let's see. How many hunts did you go on before you got your first elk? I'm not sure how many hunts it was, but I can tell you that it was 6 years of failure before I shot one. Yeah. I mean, I made every stupid elk hunting mistake you could make. I made it. And then I thought, oh, there's got to be a shortcut. So I was buying gadgets and doodads and gizmos. None of that helped. What I did, I went and analyzed how is it that I can go to just about any lake that I've never been to before and I can catch walleyes. And the reason I could is because I knew about walleyes. I understood them intimately. I knew what their need was at any point in the year. Any point in that walleye calendar, I knew, okay, here's their need, here's where they're going to go to satisfy that need. So I applied that same thing to elk, which is why I have these 5 calendar periods of elk hunting, right? You hear me say it all the time. Early, pre-rut, peak rut, post-rut, late. Each of those 5 periods, the elk have a different need. And because they have a different need, they're going to be in a different place trying to satisfy that need. Once I applied the same principles I use for walleye fishing to elk hunting, I've killed an elk, I think, just about every year. And some years, more than one. And I still make stupid mistakes. Don't get me wrong. I don't have it figured out. I've just had to simplify it to make it work for me. So, what did you do before full-time hunting? Oh, I don't full-time hunt. I'm a CPA in my other life. I disinherit the federal treasury for a living. We were over there today recording a podcast at the CPA firm. I hijacked the conference room today. And I'm sure some people who see us over there is like, man, this guy actually does have a day job. Michael can attest to that because he's been trying to film me for the last 3 weeks. Well, not 3 weeks, last week. And the CPA firm has had me doing a lot of busy stuff. So I haven't got the stuff filmed, and Michael's probably about ready to fire me. So, can you fire me, Michael?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Oh, man. Favorite way to prepare walleye? Boy, I got all kinds of recipes. I'd have to put them out on the internet. All right. Hashtag CPA hunter. I like that. My wife always says, you wouldn't have become a CPA if tax season was in the fall when you're hunting, would you? You're right, honey. If you want a great profession for hunting, become a CPA. All your work's done by April 15th. And then what do? You fish and you hunt. Yeah, you do a few extensions, but that has been really helpful to my hunting habits. Any plans to record a small game public land hunt with a gun dog? Maybe not with a gun dog, but we did a small game public land hunt in Arizona last year. What did we shoot, Michael? Rabbits, quail, ducks, javelina, quadrumundi. This year, we've got some falconers coming with us. So we're going to do a small game hunt with falcons/hawks. How cool is that, Michael? I know we made those arrangements this afternoon, or just before lunch today. So how cool, huh? All right, Mystery Ranch. You use a cabinet or a Metcalf? Metcalf is my go-to pack. It's the most versatile. It can compress right down to a really, really thin day pack. And when I got an elk on the ground and I got to start hauling quarters, I can use that load shelf on there and it will carry way more than I will. So to me, the Metcalf is what you want. Oh, well, someone said give a shout out to Alana, I think was the name. That went by there so fast. Sorry. If it was Alana, Hi, Alana. Oh, and if my nephew, Morgan, back in Ohio, Morgan, if you're watching, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing well. I've seen pictures of your bluegill fishing. Keep after it. Do I prefer cows or bulls for meat? I've heard people talk about shooting bulls that are tough or gamey. I've not had that experience, but yeah, it's just natural and common sense that if you got a cow that's living on the finest food on the mountain and you got a bull that's living on the marginal food, which one's going to taste better? Shoot that cow every time. So, what's the best way to wash your Mystery Ranch Metcalf bag? Take it down to the car wash or the power washer, hang it up, let it dry, you're ready to go. We did a video on that also. Is there anything we haven't done a video on, Michael? I'm sure there's lots. So
I can think of some smart aleck things to say.
Don't say smart aleck things. Let's see. Did we got any more on live stream or on the Google Doc? I'm running short here.
Here's an interesting one. Have you ever seen a mature cow elk imitate a bugle?
Have I seen a cow elk imitate a bugle? No, I've not. Jeff asks, do all Leupold scopes have the CDS system? No. The Freedom and some of the VX3Is do not. I think all the VX5s and VX6s do. But you really, really would like that. Someone says they Googled me, and Google says you closed your CPA office in Montana. That's news to me. I was just there about 5 hours ago. What's my bow of choice? It's Bowtech, right? Got a Realm. Where is it? It's around the corner over there. Someone says, I have a 312 mule deer tag. What do I do? Watch out for Randy, because he's got a 312 mule deer tag also. You're the first person who I've told that to. Now the whole world knows that I have a Bridger buck tag. You hunting with llamas again this year? Oh yeah. Bo Beatty, Wilderness Ridge Trail Llamas. Go and rent llamas from Bo and Kirsten. Amazing. You're hunting, it's going to open a whole new world of hunting for you. What's the promo code for Orion Coolers? It's Randy, R-A-N-D-Y. So, and he said, laugh out loud at that. No, that's not funny. That's true. Let's see. I drew a Nevada mule deer tag in Area 11. This is my first hunt. Any advice? Yeah, be prepared for some tough country. I had a muzzleloader tag in Unit 115, which is part of Region 11. Great hunt, but tough country. The very first mule deer I ever shot, I was going to college in Reno. I had the Unit 113 tag, which is Unit 11, and shot a really nice buck. They are there. Just plan on hunting really hard if you have the early tag. If you have the later tag, it's going to be a little bit easier. Let's see. Bo is the man. Yes. Filming any episodes with Bo? Yes, we are. Can't tell all of the secrets, though. How do you locate elk in dry climates when there's abundant water and the area is not conducive to glassing? Tracks, scat, looking at it and saying, all right, there's water here. What are the other things they need? They need sanctuary and they need food. Where's the water that's the furthest from roads and trails near the best food source? And that's how you can isolate the water that's worth hunting and eliminate the water sources that are not worth hunting. All right. So someone says, I love your episodes with Jerry Pritchard and Scott Jones. Any episodes with them this year? No. Scott drew a really good deer tag in Nevada, but unfortunately, he's going to be there the same time when I'm going to be in Wyoming with my son and my uncle. So, Scott, I wish we could be there with you, man. You're such a great friend. Let's see. Hunting this year with the Born and Raised guys this year? No, but I have told them that August of 2019, I want to go Roosevelt elk hunting with them. And Trent and Cody are like, yeah, we might be able to pull that off. I hope so. They're great guys. Had them on the podcast. I go to the Hunt Talk Radio podcast, and I think it was 3 episodes ago, had the Born and Raised guys on there. And Great guys, really, really good guys. And if you can, go out to their YouTube channel, Born and Raised Outdoors, and subscribe and follow it. It's great stuff. Let's see. Someone says, I don't like grizzlies. Are the Grisfield units in Montana's Region 3 worth losing sleep to hunt elk in versus the no bear units? I'm not like real fond of grizzlies either, but I hunt in the grizzly units. They're just way better hunting there. I can't say there's more elk, but there's a lot fewer hunters because of the grizzly bears. And I say I'll take my chances. Someday when I end up as a grizzly poop, people are going to say, yeah, see, that's what he gets. Let's see. What's your opinion on hunting refuges? I don't have any problem if the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service says we can hunt them. I'm fine hunting them. In fact, the moose hunt that you saw my son do last year out on our YouTube and Amazon channel. Oh, speaking of which, Amazon. We are close to having a few more episodes ready on Amazon. I say that, it just depends on when they get them loaded. But anyhow, that moose hunt was on a refuge. So, in fact, one of my biggest elk I ever shot was on a game range, the Charles M. Russell game range here in the Missouri Breaks of Montana. So, any antelope hunts this year? Right now, none, unless I draw in Wyoming or in Montana. Let's see, do I prefer Sitka Merino or synthetic base layers during early archery season in a backpack hunt? Base layer, I'm a Merino. I don't care how hot it is. I'll use the lightest weight Merino I can find. Merino can control odor and bacteria way better than any synthetic, and I don't care what company you're talking about. My base layer uniform is always Merino. Merino zip tee, Merino brief / boxers. Someone says, come to Alberta, I'll guide you. There you go. What do you do when you find a rancher that has locked the gate to public land? I make sure I've got my ducks in a row. And if it's a county road and they're not allowed to gate it, then you got to decide. Sometimes it might cross their private land and there's no easement, so they have the right to gate it. You really got to know your facts before you get too wound up about something like that. First rifle season in southern Colorado, would that be post-rut? It's getting close. You're right in that transition period when the peak rut's almost to post-rut. So you're going to see some of the younger bulls closer to peak rut, some of the older bulls probably more to the post-rut. So, Lady Sportsman, hey, live on Instagram. Thanks, Michelle. I'm not sure what happened on Facebook, but we'll sort that out tomorrow. Give us a boneheaded elk hunting mistake story. Where to start? You mean like seeing an elk and making a cow call, thinking that they wouldn't lock right in on me? Yeah. Hey, Randy, guess what? When you're in the open and the elk's in the open, don't call. Okay? Keep sneaking. I mean, that's one that comes to mind because it was the dumbest thing. Yeah, I've done so many dumb things. Let's see. When you spend multiple days glassing the same area in a third season when you're not seeing anything but it looks like good habitat, do you move every day? If so, and we're going to talk about this again. I keep referring to this elk hunting e-scouting plan we're putting together with OnX. You will see when I'm doing this, I have multiple places. I have 5 days worth of places. I usually have a morning spot and evening spot. So I try to have 10 spots. And if I go into my favorite, like my number one spot based on what I've learned through e-scouting with my OnX system, and I don't see anything, I'm going to my number one afternoon spot. And I keep doing that until I've cycled through them all. And then if I haven't found one in those 10 spots, then I've failed. I've really not done my job in my scouting from home and putting together a plan. So yeah, I will move quite a bit. Someone says, I owe you a beer. Okay. I don't drink. I can't drink. I have a weird liver condition, so I can't drink, but thanks for the offer. Do you think the fire will affect Durango this fall? I don't know. I mean, the forest down there in the San Juan is closed, so it just depends on where it goes. How do you get in shape for the mountains? Uh-oh, thanks for watching. We're done. What can you only do?
You must only be able to do it for an hour.
Oh, you can only do an hour on Instagram. All right, here you go, Michael. We're done on Instagram. Now we're back to live stream, and we're just about wrapped up there. What was the question? I was just guide. Oh, how do I get in shape in the mountain? Right now, I was telling these guys this morning when I came in here, my knee is killing me. I've got a left knee that's been bothering me for 2 years, and I kept thinking, oh, that'll be okay. I'll get through the season. I'm suffering right now, and I'm like, oh no, I got a really hard season ahead. I better get with the program. So I just hike up in the mountains here behind my house. That's how I do it. So, all right, what do we got left? We're just on live stream, right, Michael?
Yep.
All right. Are we recording this on the camera so that we can throw it up to YouTube tomorrow?
Yep.
Okay, or sometime. So, I guess, folks, we've been at it for more than an hour, and I apologize for these technology struggles. I have no idea what's going on with Facebook. Hopefully someday we'll get there. Did you check any of the other partner Facebook pages? None of them worked, huh? So, anyhow, here's a few things you need to know. You need to go to bowtecharchery.com and sign up for the fully guided Colorado elk hunt that they got going on. You can go to their website and sign up, or you can text HUNT, H-U-N-T, to the number 77453. And that's going to be in September, fully guided, just everything. Nate Zielinski's a great guy. You're going to have a ton of fun with Nate. And this whole project here is brought to you by Bowtech, by Leupold, Onyx Maps. Use their promo code Randy to get 20% off. Tight spot quivers, ripcord arrow rests, black gold sights. Also, gohunt.com. Use promo code Randy and get yourself $50 of free store credit when you sign up for the Insider. And Rocky Mountain Hunting Calls. And Rocky Mountain Hunting Calls, again, promo code Randy is going to get you 15% off cool products like this. Go to buglingbull.com. And then also go to our Amazon Prime channel and watch our episodes. We'd really appreciate it. If you're into podcasts, go to our Hunt Talk Radio podcast. You can get it on iTunes and Stitcher. And we really hope that everybody, we've got a goal up here of how many YouTube subscribers we want to have by the end of the year. We hope you'll go out to our YouTube channel and subscribe, because all of our videos are up there. We try to post a video a day. Sometimes we fall behind because it's tax season and I'm busy or whatever, but those are places that you can follow us and catch us. And I'm looking for the last really good question. Wow, Jeff's got some tips here about how to help my knee pain. Are you going to do e-scouting, AJS? Are you going to do e-scouting for the high country? It's not based on by elevation. We do e-scouting based on the 5 calendar periods I talked about earlier. Do you have an early season hunt? Do you have a pre-rut hunt, peak rut, post-rut, or late season? All of our e-scouting, the very first thing is driven by which season are you scouting. Because it doesn't matter if you're high alpine or you're down in the valleys, you have to know what season you're hunting in order to know what their needs are. And once you know what their needs are, you know where in the mountains, where in that forest, where in that foothill country they're going to be, because there's some place that will satisfy the needs they have in those calendar periods. So, thanks for watching, folks. I promise we'll have the technology solved next Wednesday.